In 2016, I started having these male perspective conversations. The idea was to sit down with men all around the world for a quick 30-minute chat. I've always believed that communication, effective communication, in which there is active and attentive listening to understand what the other person has to say, is one of the vital elements in the human interaction experience, especially when it comes to the male-female dynamic. So I wanted to create a space where I could hear and listen to what the men had to say. Then in 2020, when the entire world was locked down with the COVID-19 pandemic, across the globe, we all witnessed the murder of George Floyd, an unarmed Black person. And as a Black person in America, I once again found myself psychologically, mentally exhausted, angry, frustrated with this continual killing of Black people, especially Black men in this country under those circumstances. But at the same time, I felt helpless to affect change in the multiple inner working parts that make up this bigger system that allows for these killings to continue to happen. So I was sitting there not really clear on what I could do, but I knew I already had this platform, the male perspective. So I decided to use it to show that Black men matter. You see, my brothers are husbands, they're fathers, they're sons. They have friends and families that care for them deeply. They have careers, they're servants in their communities. Some have entrepreneurial endeavors. And yes, some are just trying to make heads or tails of this thing that we call life. But all of them deserve the opportunity to leave their front door and come back home safely without losing their lives, simply because somebody dehumanized them solely based on the color of their skin. I look at this as an obligation. Over the course of my life, it has always been extremely more likely that a Black man served as my aid and protection. Just on a small scale, let's say I'm in the parking lot struggling to get something heavy or a case of water in my car. 99% of the time, it's going to be a brother who's going to yell from across the parking lot, "You good? You need some help?" Or if I'm leaving a building late at night, 99% of the time, it's going to be a brother who's going to ask me, "You need me to walk you to your car?" Or I'll just stand here at the doorway to make sure you get to your car. Okay. So it's small examples like that that show me that even in these modern times, when in the media and even in our own Black community, we like to perpetuate some sort of unhealthy interplay between Black men and Black women. It is only the Black man who has consistently and overwhelmingly self-governed himself to protect a Black woman. What would I look like if I did not return that love and commitment back to my brothers? So that's what I do with the male perspective these days. I mostly sit down with my brothers, ask them a few questions about what they've got going on, what's happening in their life, and then I sit back and listen, really listen to what they have to say. Week after week, in my own way, I say, look, this Black man matters. And look, this Black man matters. And this one, he matters too. And I understand, a project like this isn't going to have mass appeal, because the sad reality is, even though within the Black community we complain about the underlying tension between Black men and Black women, the majority are entertained by the toxic depictions that we see in media and the TV. We will scroll through all 300 comments on a social media post where you see Black men and women bashing each other. So to watch a Black woman who sits down week after week and has a peaceful, healthy conversation with a Black man, I understand it's not going to be entertaining to the masses. And that in itself is something that we have to do the inner work on and unpack collectively in our community as Black folks. Even still, from my own corner, from my own soapbox. I'll keep holding up my banner that says, Black men matter. So if you get a chance, stop by and check out the stories, life experience, knowledge that the men share on the male perspective. Not only do my brothers have value, but they have valuable insight as well.